All right. So, how are y'all liking pathology and laboratory stuff?
I don't.
I don't even.
I personally don't like it, but I mean, I just got to take my time with it. Yeah, it's very interesting.
I don't know how to look up the ICD-10 codes. I don't know. I was lost on the ICD-10 codes.
Yeah, I don't think ICD-10 codes will ever find anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm not getting.
In every section that we go through, y'all, the ICD-10 codes, unfortunately, are going to be the same. A pain in the butt. They just are. Now,
Some of them change drastic. Like, man.
They do. You really got to read the descriptions and hope that you got a clear scenario. Some of the ones that we're going to go through today I found were pretty straightforward. If y'all have any specifics that y'all have questions about, text me or email me with it and we'll walk through it together. What I have planned for us to go through today is 25-3, which I think was assignment yesterday, maybe. So hopefully y'all have looked at that already. And if you had any questions, they'll pop into your head while we're going through it. For my new folks that do not have your CPT manuals yet or your ICD-10 manuals, don't stress about it. We're going to be doing coding workshops within the next couple of weeks that y'all can come to and get some clarifications. But I don't want to do that till after you have your manuals in hand. You can ask the rest of these ladies. Before you have that manual,
it's going to be a while.
Ain't no point in even thinking about it, even worrying yourself about it.
Honestly, it stays Greek for about a month.
Yeah, even after you have your manual. Like I was explaining to y'all in onboarding, it's one of those things that takes repetition and practice and just going through it and going through it and going through it. And at a certain point, you get to a certain level of familiarity with these manuals and it'll kind of just start clicking for you. Some folks it has started clicking for, some folks it has not, and that's okay. Some folks it never clicks for.
You have to
it never, I never have it 100%. I never have it 100% because it's not, like I said, I really enjoyed billing. So that was what I focused on. And fortunately, I've been at jobs that had really experienced coders and doctors that were really particular. So they even did their coding themselves. And I got to concentrate on the stuff that I loved, which was billing. And so I know how to code and I can do it. But again, not something I enjoy, not something I'm great at either. But I can do it. And like I said, y'all have heard me say before, then once you get into the job and you start coding and you're in a particular office that focuses on a particular specialty, then you will start learning the specifics about that specialty. And you may only ever deal with one chapter in that manual. And then you're going to have software to help you out with that anyway. But you get it once you get into your job. But how are you even supposed to know what you need to focus on until you get there? Right? Right. So something exciting. I wanted to congratulate because I think I have got 3, if not all 4 y'all on this call. Congratulations to our new NTHS members. Miss Aisha, Miss Julia, Miss Jennifer, I think it's Miss Jennifer, and Precious. Congratulations, y'all. National Technical Honor Society members.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't think I was gonna make it.
Girl. I got you.
Thank you, Miss Brandy.
It was awesome. I nominated all 4 of y'all, and all 4 of y'all made it in with flying colors. They didn't even bat an eye, because of course, I sold you up. I sold you. I did it. So, congratulations, y'all. Your induction ceremony is going to be next month, June 16th.
I done ripped it out.
It is going to be an online deal and it is really cool. We've done it. We've done one before. You can invite your friends and family to watch you get inducted into the Honor Society. And it's a really cool thing. Really cool thing. Now, there are some deadlines that you got to meet before then. Get your membership dues in. I think y'all have all, I think I got an email this morning saying everybody had completed registration. So good job being on top of that. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are, I'm so proud of y'all. So proud. And for the rest of you folks, y'all will have the opportunity to get in on all the NTHS wonderfulness as you progress through the program. And I just noticed that we have a guest in with us today, Miss April Austin. Say hi, Miss April.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, everyone. I just popped on like literally 2 minutes ago. I had some time. I want to introduce myself. I am Ms. April Austin. I am the online director of education. I have been with Unitech for a little over 2 years now. I have been in higher education for 12 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yes, since 2010. I love it. I did work at various schools in the South Acadiana, South Louisiana area. I have a passion for it. I absolutely love it. Education and seeing people grow with their goals, it thrills me, right? It thrills me. My co-partner in crime is Brandy. She's our NTHS co-advisor. We are so excited to embark on this new journey together. So great to see so many of you on the call right now. This is amazing. I
have an incredible turnout.
My gosh.
This is like record breaking today. I don't know what's going on.
This is great. I hopped on at the right time. This is phenomenal, guys. Phenomenal. You know, when you are able to take some time and get on these calls, they're monumental, right? You never know what's going to happen. Certain people might pop in there to give you some value and just give you some attention and some love there. But it's so great to see all of you on the call. Please, anytime that you can, jump on, because I promise you, you will leave with some value. And that's really important to your education here at Unitech. But I'm excited for you guys. I have a background in medical billing and coding. I've done all kinds of things in healthcare, because of course in MBC, there's so many avenues that you can go down, right? There's medical records, there's a front office, there is office management. There's so many different things that you can go into. Right now, scribes. You know what a scribe is? Anyone know what that is?
No, ma'am.
So that is something that's actually been around for centuries. However, it's coming back, right? So a scribe is someone that will assist and follow the physician and type in those notes into the EHR system. So the scribe came back into the picture once we began with EHR again as a hot topic, right? Because as you know, back in the day, it was all paper charts for everybody, right? For everybody. But now that we have EHR in the majority of healthcare facilities, doctors need some help, right? So they need you, they need us to go in and put in those ones into the EHR system, right? It's a government regulation, as a matter of fact. Now, you depending upon the size, depending upon the size of the healthcare facility, you are mandated by the government now to have an EHR system. Again, it depends on the size of your facility. If you have a really small physician's office, then guess what? Paper chart on, live your life. But if you have if you meet the regulation where you have to be compliant with those regulations, then you have to have an EHR system. But here's the thing, the government pays you really good money to have one, like a lot of money. So why wouldn't you? And it's easier, right? You can actually have the patient's picture on the computer now. Doctors have resources to the chart really quickly. I can remember back in the day where when someone had a referral, oh my goodness, it took weeks, months, sometime for the other doctor to get the referral, right? You got
Mhm.
a fax machine, you got a mail it, you got all these other things going on. Now, a click of the button and boom, there it is, right? Doesn't matter if you were vacationing, in Honolulu, right? And something happens to your finger. Well, guess what? If you're in Alexandria or Lafayette or Houma or New Orleans or Monroe, it's okay because with a push of a button, boom, there's your chart. And that is so phenomenal because you can get quicker, more effective health care for yourself at that time. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I absolutely love it. To see healthcare go from paper charting to this is magnitude for me. I absolutely love it. I grew up in a time where it was paper charts all day long, and to see this happen, it's monumental. It's really, really, really cool, guys. And I'm so happy that you're part of this, right? So this module ends at the end of the month, which is going to be Tuesday, May 31st, right? And then you go into module 156, 156. You're itching along to that EHR module, which is fun. And here's the great thing.
Y'all will
That
like that so much more than what we're doing now.
Oh my God,
have
let me tell
been-
you.
Y'all
Yeah.
have been drowning in coding for like
Yes,
8 weeks.
yes.
You're-
Ah,
It's almost over.
it's coming to an end, guys, coming to an end. And here's the really cool part. The system that you're going to be training on in a couple of weeks there with another module, it's called SimChart. But guess what? SimChart is a real EHR system. Now you got thousands out there, but on your resume, you're going to put that. That's important. It's a real EHR system. It's not a practice. It's a practice simulation model, but that model, that SimChart is a true and real, like somebody can go out and buy it and use it for their physician's office or for their healthcare facility. So that's the cool part. So I always get this question, Miss April, what happens when I go on an interview and they ask me if I have experience? Or they tell me, oh, you're fresh out of school, you don't have experience. Here's the answer to that. Kindly disagree. As a matter of fact, ma'am, sir, I do have experience. I attended Unitech Training Academy for 9 months. I did these particular modules, CPT coding, HCPCS coding. I also had X amount of hours in SimChart, using it as an EHR model. You do have experience. I always tell my students that you do have experience. Don't let anyone take that away from you. This 9 months of training and getting on these calls and learning all the extras, this is training. This is experience, right? Why is it experience? Did you know this information before? I doubt it. Some of you perhaps, but even if you did, guess what? It's experience. So, change their mindset of that. And don't let anyone tell you differently. You do have experience, all right? Now, you don't want to get too cocky, but you definitely want to allude that, yes, I do have experience and this is it.
We've had conversations and we talked about interviewing and the current job market and what they can expect. And I always one of the things I tell them is know your worth.
Oh,
Right for what
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Very important that you know your worth. You put in this time, you're putting in this money to get to your education goals, and the goals are out there. Oh my God, there's so much that you can do. So many positions that are out there. One of my coolest jobs that I worked for with my medical billing and coding diploma was I was contracted through Medicare. Yeah, through Medicare. So a company out of Georgia, this became a hot topic some years ago, probably about 11 years ago, it became a hot topic where Medicare said, hold on here. We are paying these physicians some money, right, to see patients. For example, if a primary healthcare doctor is seeing a patient and that patient is getting diagnosed or has been diagnosed with diabetes, right? That primary care doctor needs to send that patient to other specialists, right? Who? Like who? They should see a
Podiatrist?
cardiologist. They should see a podiatrist. They should see an ophthalmologist. Why? Because guess what? Diabetics tend to have issues down the line with their feet, their eyesight, their heart, all these things. A primary care doctor cannot specialize in those areas. Therefore, the healthcare system says, wait a minute, if we start sending these patients to specialists and get ahead of the trouble that comes along with this, with diabetes, then guess what? We will A, help the patient, and B, save money. Makes sense, right? So they hired tons of people. I was one, fortunately, had a great time. They sent me a laptop, sent me a scanner, and they would email me a list of where to go weekly. So I had my list. They paid me mileage, really good mileage, to go to different healthcare facilities, hospitals, doctor's offices, and they still do this today. This is still a job today, guys. I would get my list. I'd set up in the office, right? And I would go through charts. Now, back then, the majority were paper charts, but some had EHR. But I would go through the chart, and I would have to pull proof. I would have to pull evidence that yes, this doctor did send this patient to the podiatrist. I had a checklist, right? Oh, I enjoyed it because I got to meet different
Kind of like
people.
auditing, compliance auditor.
Yep, exactly. I was an auditor. Yep, exactly. And here's the cool thing, guys. The cooler thing is that besides meeting all these great, wonderful people, I got to meet the other patients out there as well. But I also had the opportunity to see who was not doing their job. And I tell you that these physicians, they were fined. And the fine was, okay, you got 30 days to get together. But if you continue this habit of not sending these patients to these specialists, then guess what? We are not paying you a dime ever again in your life.
And they do not want to lose that Medicare credentialing. They
Yes.
do not want to lose it.
Although Medicare and Medicaid pay the lowest in reimbursement, guess what? It's a high population, right? So it was an awesome job. I really, really, really enjoyed it. Again, they paid me mileage. So my checks were really, really nice. But it was fun. It was a fun, I didn't get paid hour, I got paid per contract. Plus the miles, like I said, but it was really fun. I would take all my things, get it done, scan it, and that was it. You know, my day was over. I was usually home by 2. It was amazing, or 12 sometimes, depending on how many patients I had. And it was fun to be able to dig in those charts too and learn more about different medical records and different healthcare issues that patients had, because they told a story, right? The healthcare records charts told a story, And guess what type of education that was needed to get this job? Medical billing and coding diploma. It was amazing. I had an amazing time with it. Also got linked up with other people, right? Other auditors who did contract work. I'm also a medical assistant. So back then I was able to launch on and get hooked up with another company that offered, we did medical assisting for offshore companies. And therefore, again, though, it wasn't all medical assistants, because we needed MBC people there to do the check-ins. So what happened was that these offshore, mostly men work offshore, right? Mostly. There's some females that do, but mostly men. They don't see about themselves, right? They're eating good stuff, guys. They're eating steak and shrimp and tortillas and cheese and greasy stuff offshore, right? They're not exercising. So I guess they're not going out for a swim in the Gulf. So they tend to have high blood pressure and heart disease, but they're not going to the doctor. They're passing out, having strokes on the dock, right? They don't like that. Because now you got to fly an ambulance, right? Offshore, because, you know, Joe, who just finished eating a big fat steak, is now suffering from.
I used to do that billing. That's expensive.
Yeah. Oh, is it ever? Yeah, it is.
That's really expensive.
So they got tired of that. So it's so funny. They began paying, and of course, besides that, the company's medical insurance premiums went skyrocket because, of course, the more ill people, the more sick people you have on your insurance plan as a company, the higher the premiums are. It was terrible. So therefore, their premiums was shot rocket. It was crazy. After that, the company began paying these guys, right? Okay, if your blood pressure is within normal range, we'll give you $75 on a gift card. If your cholesterol is within normal range, here's $50. It was amazing, crazy. I'm like, who doesn't want money? So when they said money, here the guys come pouring in. So we would set up in these hotel banquet rooms. They'll come in from offshore. They'll come in. We needed you guys first. You would do the intake, check them on in, get their ID, make sure that they are who they are. They're not lying and saying, "Oh, that's my friend there who was offshore," just to get that money, right? And lie about his cholesterol or his blood pressure. So you intake them, and then I would stab them.
Even
No question.
exchange.
Even exchange, exactly. So guys, there are so many different avenues that you can do with medical billing and coding. And guess what? One day you may be in Miss Brandy's seat. You may be Miss Brandy's co-pilot, right? You may be in my seat. Guys, there's several things that are out there for you. So when the tough gets going, take it on, right? Go that extra mile. I know that you get tired. So I'm in school myself. I'm finishing my master's in just a couple months. I know it's difficult. I have an assignment that, look, on my lunch break, I highlight. So I understand, but you can do it because guess what? It's worth it. You have no idea where this diploma is going to lead you to, right? You have no idea. There are so many avenues that it can. Miss Brandy has tons of experience, right? She probably never thought she'd be an instructor.
Never. And wouldn't have took this job or even thought to consider applying for it even if it were not for someone I used to work with in my first medical and billing job. Y'all have met her, Miss Marsha Gallagher. Marsha got me, and that's what Miss April saying. It opens so many avenues. The position, the program opens the avenue into medical office, and then every person you meet there is a potential avenue down the road. Every friend you make. You know?
Absolutely. All these people in this call, I encourage you guys. I know you don't have to be best friends or whatever, but I encourage you, look at these names. Because most likely, depending upon what area you live in, you're gonna see them again.
Right.
You will see them again. You know, Louisiana is small, believe it or not. I remember I went on a cruise to the Bahamas, and I'm thinking, woo-hoo, no one's gonna know me. What state goes on the Bahamas? Wait, Bahamas. Yeah, right. Someone said, April's that you? I'm like, you're kidding. We are in the ocean.
Right.
We are in the ocean. I am from a very small town that has one red light, Erath, Louisiana. There can't possibly be anyone that knows me here. Yeah, right. You know, on the plane ride, you know, I flew from Lafayette to Georgia. Sure enough, there we go. I'm like, gosh. But again, it's great stuff to network because you never know. You just never know. And it's great to do again. These names on here, these faces on here, get back with it. Remember it, because it might be your supervisor one day. You know, I'm seeing Julia might say, Riley, you know, I'm hiring. I need someone, or Trish might say, Aisha, my supervisor needs someone. You were in class with me, and I know you did well. So come on, let's go. You know, apply. I got you. Man, I'm telling you, it works. It works. So don't break those connections, guys, and don't be afraid to connect. You know, don't be afraid to connect. I still have associates from when I was in school. They come on as guest speakers. You know, they come on, they're amazing. And that connection is important. It really is important, guys. So it was nice.
Now that I think about it, I have worked with Unitech graduates. At my first billing job, after 4 years of working together, Marsha left and started teaching at the Alexandria campus, billing and coding. And two, within her first year of being there, came to work for the company that she used to work for. And one of them was in my department. I actually got to know her really well. Super,
Wow.
super sweet lady, but graduate of Unitech. And Marsha was able, her and career services were able to team up with people that Marsha still knew in the industry and get them placed. And
Wow.
yeah, we had
Wow.
an internship opportunity come up out of the blue today. Just an email this morning out of random. They want a medical billing and coding student or students. I'm not 100% on the details yet. For this opportunity, for an internship opportunity in the New Orleans area. Did we have
This
any
is
recommendations?
great for a graduate.
Yeah. And I got to send in, a couple of recommendations for
Beautiful.
this internship out of you guys.
Wow.
You guys.
Oh,
My
wow.
God. And guess what? Once those individuals go and shine for us, guess what that means for you? It means a lot for you. So keep that in mind too, guys. Whenever you're out there interviewing, working, don't forget that you're not only representing yourself, you're representing the school that you graduated from, you're representing Miss Brandy, you're representing me, you're representing each and every person that is on this call and not on this call. And again, that's where those strong relationships connect at. I tell you, it happens. It happens. I've been in healthcare for 24 years now. And I promise I can call back previous jobs and I'm like, hey, I need a favor. And they're going to do it. 24 years ago. 24 years. I got one better for you. The very building that I am in, that I am located in, I'm in Lafayette, Louisiana, guys. I used to work in this building 18 years ago. It wasn't Unitech. The building was owned by LHC Group back then.
Okay.
And I had an office upstairs and I passed it all the time. I'm like, wow, this parking lot that I come to every day. I worked here 18 years ago.
I worked for LA.
Wow.
You did? Hey,
Mhm.
did you hear that they were bought out by UHC for like $1 quadrillion?
Yes, and the CEO donated like $5 billion. Like, yeah, y'all
Yeah.
could pay me more.
Right.
No
So,
doubt.
but guess what? That's going to be more opportunity for you guys. Way more. LHC Group has took it to a whole nother level.
Yeah,
So excited to see what's going to happen. Jobs are going to, and they're across the country because just about 2 years ago, LHC Group actually bought out some healthcare organizations like in Indiana and Ohio and all over the place. So guys, if you want to move and start over again, it's possible. It's
That's
possible.
it, y'all. It's not just doctors' offices or clinics or hospitals that you may be working in. I know a lot of you have aspirations to work from home.
Mhm.
Come take my job. Because that's what I get to do. I get to work from home. But like I said,
Yes.
there's no reason that y'all can't go to work in a medical office, get 4 or 5 years of experience, and then be the instructor.
Yes.
Some of
You
y'all
have to
phenomenal
crawl
at that.
before you walk.
That's it.
Get that experience. That way you can go in there and tell them how much you want to get paid. But you got to get that experience. You have to get that experience. So don't be afraid to get an entry-level position or to accept an entry-level position. Because I promise you, it's going to lead you somewhere. Take it. Take it. Take it. Do not pass it up. Take it. All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure. I didn't mean to
for
take so much of
popping
your time,
in.
but I'm so
It was
yeah,
nice
I'm
to meet
glad I
you.
am. What's that?
It was nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you as well. So again, my name is Miss April Austin. I am the Director of Education. I look forward to seeing you guys again, especially at graduation, whenever that may
Right.
be. For those of you that are in THS, I will see you next month for induction. For those of you who are not in NTHS, guess what? Keep pushing. I want to see you. We go every 3 months, we're going to have a new round of NTHS membership opportunities. I want to see you guys there, okay?
Okay.
Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.
You
Thank you,
too.
Miss
It was
April.
nice meeting you, Miss April.
Nice meeting you guys
Bye.
as well.
All right. That was an unexpected surprise. That's nice. Let's see what time it is. All right, so it's after 4 o'clock. Know some of y'all got things to do. All right, so a little bit about this exam. It's going to be very similar to chapter 24. I'm going to email it to y'all tonight. Probably about 10 multiple choice or so. Just a few where you're having to find CPT. My new folks for this week, I'm not going to email y'all that because I'm not expecting you to take an exam your first week. And then it's learning down. So let's y'all just get familiar with things this week and do what you can. No manual on the stuff that asks for a CPT code. No diagrams this week yet. No diagram on the exam this week, so it's probably going to be a fairly short one. Probably one of those 50 or 80 point quizzes. So no big stressor for this one. Y'all got that if y'all been going through the assignments and stuff. I'm not worried. Y'all got this. Y'all got this. Do y'all want to go through a little bit of 25.3 while we're here? If this ran longer and you need to duck out, I got you down.
Okay. Because
I understand.
I'm trying to get home, but I wanted to do my Zoom class first so I could go start submitting my stuff.
I got you, sister. Take care of you. Take care of you.
Thank
I'm
you.
recording it, so just catch it later if you need to, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, so everybody else who's on, y'all want to go through a little bit of 25.3, finding those CPT codes and ICD-10s?
Yes, ma'am, because I want to do like number 5, so I want to make sure that I had the ICD-10 code correct.
All right.
Miss Brandy, I'm gonna have to leave, okay?
Okay, I got you.
All right.
I'm headed
All
out
right,
as well.
thank you. Bye, y'all.
No problem. Bye. It usually doesn't, we usually don't have a 30-minute addition to class, so
Okay.
I totally get it. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at number 5. Where's my little book? All right, so number 5 was gases, comma, blood pH only in a patient with respiratory failure. All right, so like I said, I thought most of the ones in here were kind of straightforward. They weren't real long or wordy with a lot of extra information. Let's see, for that one, you start with blood gases. It's kind of gross
Okay.
sounding, but that's where you start. Blood gases in your alphabetic index. All right.
Yes,
that
because I feel this chapter was I kind of liked it.
different.
It was a little
I
short,
use Google a lot.
but I guess some of the stuff I've heard of, but then it's just trying to really doing the ICD-10 just to make sure you know what the diagnosis is of it, because that's why I think for the gases I looked that up, but for the ICD-10 the diagnosis I felt was respiratory failure, so that I start looking here.
That's correct. Your diagnosis on this one is going to be respiratory failure. Yeah, you're exactly right. Exactly right. And anytime y'all see failure, that is a prime keyword for diagnosis. If you go to failure in the alphabetic index, it's like pages and pages of all the different things in the body that can fail. So you go to failure, and then you just follow that alphabet down until you get to the R's, and it's pages and pages later. But you'll get to respiratory, and then you go from there. But yeah, you're exactly right. Respiratory failure was definitely the diagnosis on that one, the one they were looking for. What did you come up with by chance?
The code I came up with for the ICD-10 code, came up with J96.90. And I found that on page 957.
957. Okay, good stuff. Perfect. Yeah.
Because it's kind of sometimes you gotta watch when you're reading it and it'll tell you respiratory failure and it say unspecified, whether with hypoxia or hypercapnia. Um,
Hypo whatever.
yeah, so then when you go to 96.91, then it says respiratory failure unspecified with hypoxia. So you wondering, okay, this one, the first one said whether with hypoxia or hypercapnia, then it says, then it's either the other two. So I guess you picked the first one because it say unspecified whether with both of them.
Right. Right. If it gives you options, like there was one. Now I can't figure out which one it was, but there was one of them that's like, if it gives you options of just this A, or like, that's not gonna work. I can't figure out how to explain this right. If it gives you some options, like it gives you a main option, and then it gives you with something or without something. You have 3 different codes, and it gives you like the general one, and then with or without. If your scenario does not specify with or without, use that general code. Okay, if we don't know, let's not guess. If it's giving us a general code, we only code on the information that we have. And if we don't know with or without, we don't use that.
Okay.
Got it?
Because I noticed there was a question on the chapter 24 exam. One of the questions you kind of wondered if it was either this one or that one, but you had to really read into the scenario. That's
Yeah.
how I remember off of the test. There's one of the questions on there.
That's it. You got to really pay attention to those keywords and the differences, because that'll be your difference between the correct code and the not correct code. Now let me plug in real quick. I just got a low battery thing. Just a sec. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So yes. All right. So back to the CPT on number 5. Blood gases was your alphabetic index on page 1051. And then from there, you didn't have a whole lot of options. And it was basically just the different gases, CO2, pH, different stuff like that. So you just found pH, and it should have brought you to page 658 in the pathology and laboratory section. And then, of course, 82800 pH only would have been our correct answer on that.
Okay, can you try number 7?
Yes, I can. All right, so uric acid, comma, blood in a patient with acute gouty arthritis. That sounds unpleasant, huh? Gouty arthritis. No fun, no fun. All right, so for our CPT code, and for our new folks, when we're going through a scenario, when we're looking for our CPT code, that's going to be a procedure, something done to the patient. And your ICD-10 codes are going to be diagnosis codes. Those are problems that the patient has. So you got CPT, current procedural terminology, what's done to the patient, your procedures. And then ICD-10, there's your diagnosis, what's wrong with the patient, any diseases, injuries, etc. Okay, so that CPT code, and this is the pathology laboratory section. So it's all going to be about tests and blood and specimens and all kind of yucky stuff, not fun stuff. But so uric acid is going to be where you're going to start on that one. Okay. That was, and I want to say the options for that one were not very varied anyway, or either, just a few options, and it was right there in blood, uric acid, then blood. It'll get you to 84550. Where's your code on that?
Okay, I got that one.
Everybody see how we got there? Our new folks, I'm not expecting y'all to see where we got there or how we got there. But y'all get there. And thank y'all for sticking in with me today and listening to it. All right, so the ICD-10 code for number 7. This patient has acute gouty arthritis. That's going to be their condition or disease.
Okay, I looked up gout.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
that one was gouty, this, that.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay.
yeah.
The words you looking at
Mhm.
gout when you read down, then you're like, okay, it doesn't really say what kind of gout, because there's a lot of people think gout is just from the foot area or
Right.
feet, but you can get gout in other parts of your body.
So I've learned.
That is
I
correct.
didn't know.
That is a common misconception that gout is strictly in the feet. It is
Yep.
not.
You could get gout in the arm.
Lord knows the poor people who have it elsewhere wish it was just in their feet. All right, so yeah, that one, it said to start with gout. And then it says idiopathic, but I'm gonna go in real quick and see what the options are and see how they got there to kind of see if I can clear that up for y'all.
Yeah, because I was saying why they didn't stick with M10, but they jumped to M10.0. What is the, because in the scenario, it doesn't say idiopathic. So
That gave me the blues.
arthritis.
All right, so I'm seeing gout. See also gout or gouty. All right, so what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna go down the list on that first indention, right?
Mhm.
So I see drug-induced, idiopathic, due to renal impairment, lead-induced, primary. Okay. And what's our scenario say? Real quick. See how we're going to pick our way to go. Acute gouty arthritis. All right, so I think the first thing that would pop into my head would be to look for arthritis
Okay.
in the gout section and see what I can find. So I'm gonna run through. All right, so I don't see anything that says arthritis. It just looks like it's just body parts, right?
Yes.
It's gout, and then if it was drug-induced, idiopathic, or what. But if y'all notice that there's 2 sections of gout. The first one is chronic, and the second one is acute.
Yes.
Y'all saw that? All right, so because of our scenario stating it's acute gouty arthritis, I'm gonna go with the one that says gout or gouty acute.
Okay.
So you start with M10.9. Just let me see what their numbers look like. Yeah. I guess that's where I would go. All right, let's see where that takes us. All right. For my new folks on here today, let's see, is there anybody else still in here that's new? Not really. They pretty, Shakira's on here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Let me give you, if you can see this big old book right here.
Oh my goodness.
You see this big old thing?
Yes.
Big old book. Big old book. Coding manual. This is just one of them. But it is the
Just
biggest
one?
one. Yeah, that's just one of them. But it is the biggest one. So that's a plus.
Okay.
But like I said, they are massive. A lot of information in here.
It's so heavy, it could almost take your shoulder off.
Yeah, I call it my, my lethal weapon.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm listening until I get mine.
That is good. That is good. You'll be ahead of the curve. All right. So M10. I'm not real sure how they got there. So we're going to look at the section and see what we can see. All right, so the M10 section starts with gout. The section before that is that chronic gout that we were talking about. So starting at M10, idiopathic, M10.0, we've got gout unspecified. Well, we definitely do not have a site specified, right? They don't give us a body part. We don't know if it was drug induced. We don't know if it was lead induced. We don't know if it was due to renal impairment.
We don't know nothing.
We don't know none of that other stuff, right? But they do give us an unspecified idiopathic gout, unspecified site. M10.00. And there's no stop sign, so it doesn't indent down any further. We can use it as is. And I don't see any of those little boxes that say we have to add on anything, right? Nothing in that section that gives us anything. So that's what I would go with. Because we don't have any other information to confirm that it's one of those other codes. So I'll go with unspecified. M10.00.
Okay, so I have that, but then also I heard you saying something about M10.9. Is that almost at the end of the 10?
It's like pages later.
Yes, and then it says gout unspecified.
Give me a second, I'm getting there. 10.4. Gout not otherwise specified.
So
I
how
think
would you
the
know not
difference
to
in
do
that
that?
is the acute.
Oh, okay,
They're
so
specifying it as acute instead of chronic.
idiopathic. Okay,
If they had
idiopathic
not
is-
said whether it was chronic or acute, we'd have gone with that M10.9.
Oh, okay, so the idiopathic is more of the acute.
Right. We remember it made the differentiate. I just tried to say that wrong. It stated the difference between acute and chronic. It gave you those two different sections.
So sometimes you gotta really look up what those words be meaning.
Yes.
Sometimes that's what I have to do, because like if they give this like this idiopathic, I'll go in and find a definition for
Yeah.
idiopathic, and I'm like, okay, so it's telling me it's mean acute. So that's Because sometimes you don't be knowing what that word is.
It's almost like being a detective.
Yeah.
It really is. Sometimes it's like being a detective.
That was all day yesterday.
You know, I joke about I start with the word in the scenario, the one that I don't know, because that's probably the medical term that I need to start with. That's
Mhm.
why it's a lot of time you got to look up those words. And that's why I stress to y'all where those guidelines are and where the diagrams are that'll show you the different body parts. Because between the report or the scenario and the diagram, you may be able to figure out what part of the body you need to be looking at or what system you need to be, or, you know, it helps you narrow things down.
Yeah.
I mean, just take advantage of all the information they give you, all of it.
Mhm.
All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. Any other questions, concerns, anything else y'all want to go over while we're here?
No, ma'am.
We good? All right, folks. Well then, if y'all don't have nothing else for me, again, look for your chapter 25 exam in your email this evening. Please try to get that to me sometime tomorrow or over the weekend, whatever's more convenient for you. If you don't get it tomorrow, please get that daily assignment in for your attendance. Appreciate you much. And y'all have a blessed day and a blessed week. You got something, Tiara? Or are you saying bye?
I have got that email about neither of the tests. I've been looking for it. I don't know.
Okay. I sent out, I'll resend it to you when we get off of here, the chapter 24 exam. I sent that out Sunday night
Yeah.
for Monday. So I'll resend that to you when we get off of here. No problem. You still got till Sunday to get that in. So no big deal. And if you need more time, just get with me and we'll work it out.
Because I had out of work, I just didn't type it. Well, I typed it today and turned it in.
Okay, no problem.
When is the website gonna be back up and running?
It is supposed to be back up and running on Monday.
Okay.
It should be Monday morning when y'all go to log in. It should be, it's Lord help us, it's supposed to be. Sure hope it is. If it won't, they'll let us know. And we'll just roll on. But it should be up and running Monday. That's why they took this entire week to make sure that to put everything in and give them 2 or 3 days to test it all out and make sure it's good to go. So, but it should be up Monday.
Okay, because I'm waiting to see what I made on the test.
Me too. Me too.
All right. Now I'm warning you now. Once that sucker's back up, it's gonna take me a couple days to get everybody grades in.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just bear with me. Bear with me. Give me at least 2 or 3 days before you start bragging me about it, though.
No, I won't brag. I just want to know what my score was.
I know. And I'll do yours first. I'll do yours first. Okay. It'll be all right.
Miss Brandy.
I got you, Aisha. I saw it. I saw you. I got you. All right, y'all. I sure do appreciate my time with y'all. I really do. Thank y'all for giving me your time. I really appreciate it. It means the world. All right. Y'all have a blessed day and a blessed weekend, y'all.
Bye, guys. Bye, y'all.
Bye.